This is a great case example to show how we treat right upper extremity DVT. This is a patient with renal failure who is undergoing dialysis, and he's currently dialyzing through a dialysis catheter, as you can see in this image. He also has a left upper extremity arteriovenous fistula that is not mature yet and is not being used yet. He was admitted to the ER with a massive right upper extremity swelling. At the time, he underwent an ultrasound, which demonstrated extensive DVT in the right arm involving the right brachial vein, right axillary vein, and subclavian vein. Here you can see the filling defects in this vein, which is the brachial vein here, the axillary vein in this location, the subclavian vein here. And you can also see that there is complete occlusion of the right brachiocephalic vein, and this occlusion is secondary to scar tissue created by this catheter being in place for a long time. He also has clot going up to his internal jugular vein. Here you can see the clot extending all the way to the brachial vein, which is quite large, but it's completely thrombosed. You can see there is very little collateral circulation because all these veins are thrombosed. Certainly suspected the occlusion of the right brachiocephalic vein here has been there for a long time, but more recently the patient developed the clot in the arm, and that's the cause of his swelling because the collateral veins were essentially gone once the clot developed. So how we treat this? So you can see we advanced a little wire and a catheter from the right arm, and then we're able to cross the occlusion here. Initially the wire went up the left brachiocephalic vein. That means that there's probably some narrowing. Maneuver the wire and the catheter a little bit and advance the catheter down and advance the wire all the way to the inferior vena cava, which is here. You can see in this picture you have the diaphragm, the heart, and then we advance a little snare from the right groin sheath, and we grab this wire and pull it down. We then are able to externalize this wire through the right groin. At this point, then we have complete access going from the arm all the way to the groin, and we can do whatever we want. In this case, the first thing we did is we advanced this balloon to open the area of occlusion in the right brachiocephalic vein. We then decided to partially remove this dialysis catheter. We pull it back to here. And then we were essentially ready to do the thrombectomy, so we advanced our thrombectomy catheter all the way into the right brachial vein, as you can see here. Then we can inject contrast, we can see the clot, and we can do the thrombectomy like a Pac-Man eating the clot. In this way, you can go back and forth and do the thrombectomy. You can advance over the sheath, you can inject contrast to clean the catheter. You do a venogram, you can see there is some residual clot here in subclavian vein, so we can get our catheter, bring that to remove the clot. And after that, we inject contrast again, and now looks pretty clean. This is another venogram, looking essentially clean, looks pretty good. Still narrow here. Remember, we only dilated with a small balloon, with an 8mm balloon. This is final images demonstrating the veins to be widely patent, no clot. You can see the valves right here. And you can still see that there is some degree of stenosis in the right brachiocephalic vein. Then we decided to place a stent. Here's the stent going in. We position the stent exactly where we want to deploy it. This is the stent being deployed. You can see the balloon expands and the stent is being deployed. By the way, it was an 11 by 29mm PBX stent. And we decided to post-dilate with a 12mm balloon. And this is the final result. It's good. Looks widely patent. You can see we did not occlude the left brachiocephalic vein. We didn't want to do that because the fistula that the patient has now is on the left arm. And then once I've done putting the stent, then we place a wire through the stent so we can insert a new catheter through this area. And the patient got a brand new dialysis catheter that is ready to be used until his fistula is mature. Great result.